Welcome to the channel. If it's your first time joining, return, thank you for coming back. Boy, we got some breaking news. Listen, order it just got put in on a weekend, bro. I have never seen that, bro. I've been doing this for some time. Like, I'm talking about some years, bro. Like a long time, and I've never seen anything put into the system on a weekend ever. And this is like 15 years plus of yeah, like straight up. And I'm not an attorney. Let's get this correct. I'm not an attorney, right? But anyway, so there was a motion, an order filed for a NISI hearing. A NISI hearing is pretty much a show of cause hearing, but let's look at the law. We're going to try to run through this real fast too. Okay, where are we at? I'm sorry. Here we go. So, read the NISI hearing. So, NISI hearing pretty much is a show of cause. So, pretty much the plaintiff and the defendant, they come to court and they lay out the reasons why the order should be granted, or the motion should be granted, or why the motion should be denied, right? And that's pretty much what a NISI hearing is. And this is like Latin. It's pretty much for a show of cause. And if you didn't know, and we're dealing with law, everything is Latin based, and it's a whole lot of another dictionary for it. That's a discussion for a whole nother day. So anyway, let's get back to this. So this was filed on the 20th. It just showed up in the system on a Sunday, right? It says the order was put in on the 19th. And this was for the plaintiff's emergency motion that sets out judgment. Remember, that's what we were just talking about. We were just talking about that, right? And then all of a sudden, it just pops up in the system, which is crazy. I've never seen that happen before. So there was two of them put in. There was one put in on the 10th. And one, actually two put in on the 15th. One was a mistake because it didn't have the notice attached to it. If you go back, you're supposed to have this notice. You're supposed to put the notice whenever you file anything. If you don't put that notice in, then it'll get denied or rejected or something like that. So let's go back here. Let's see. We should see three of them. There's one right here. That's for the one for February. And then there's two more on the 15th because one was a mistake and then the other one was the correct one. But going back from the order, this is the order to dismiss. Now the plaintiff got on it, hit that motion of reconsideration, emergency motion to amend complaint, motion to add defendant, just boom, boom. I mean, back to back motions, right? Then the defendant responded back to all the post-judgment motions like, hey, nah, you trying to get denied, get the shot down or whatever. And then finally, just recently, this is so crazy, I've never seen it before, then they filed this NISI hearing. Now, this is even better news, because that means that the plaintiff is on to something. The plaintiff, nine times out of 10 is right. And the case is going to be reversed, but what they was trying to do was trying to run the clock, because even if the case gets renewed, I believe, don't quote me on this, but if it's not within the statute of limitations, then the case will be completely dismissed. You have a 2-year statute of limitations to file a case on the city, state, and county for civil claims or whatever, and it starts on the day that the claim. Sometimes it's on when the incident occurred, but since this is a false imprisonment claim dealing with Henry County Jail, it starts on the day the defendant got released from custody. So that gives you a little bit more time and leeway. So yeah, and they was trying to push past that time. You see what I'm saying? So matter of fact, let's look at the law. That way it's just not me talking, because I don't know some of y'all are like, man, you just run off at the mouth. I have so much to say, but I can't just go in on the internet. Trust me, for legal reasons. Trust me. Remember, this is Henry County. It's not naming defendant Brown. It's just with the Henry County. They're trying to get Henry County's dismissed, whatever. Because defendant Brown pretty much hit. They're trying to get this monkey off their back. That's where that change is gonna come in at. But anyway, back to the law. So false imprisonment claims. So the false imprisonment claims down here. Oh, here it goes. All right. So false imprisonment and intentional tort or tort of neglect, right? A false imprisonment intentional tort. The action must be brought within 2 years of the occurring accrual. I can't even get that pronounced it right. Which is from the release from imprisonment, and that's based off case law. A lot of times it's not going to be specifically in the law itself, like it'll just have one sentence or two sentences or something like that. And look, a false imprisonment is unlawful detention of a person under any length of time where a person is deprived of his personal liberty. So a false imprisonment doesn't necessarily mean you go to jail. A false imprisonment claim could be they stopped you on the side of the road and didn't have probable cause. That's false imprisonment. So for any length of time. So you got to know these things. This is what I'm saying. That's why I'm trying to school y'all on this stuff, bro. I'm not just talking outside of my head. You know what I mean? This is something that I know for a fact, and I'm showing you. But pretty much, what it said? 2 years. Yeah, within 2 years. Right? All right. Let's go move on. Now, for those of you who have your personal opinions of this channel, of me, or whatever, this and that third, I need the Karens to step up. This is where Karens, you need to do your job. Karen, you are wanted here. You know, I'm putting you on a mission. This is not Mission Impossible. This is Mission Impossible. It's very easy. You do not even have to leave the comfort of your own home. All it takes is stroke a couple keys. You can do it on your phone. Make an open records request to the city of Hampton, right? Check this out. You can get the body camera footage, the police report, the incident, everything. You can get everything on how this case started, and the body camera footage and dash cam footage, and you get it yourself. And they'll have 3 business days to answer your request, and they'll just email it right to you, everything. And you can look at it yourself, and you tell me. And mind you, that case was won by the defendant. Yeah, that case got beat. That's why all this is coming about. And it's just all these people. You got the city, county, and state, and all these employees in between just jumping in. And you got citizens just like you probably watching this and involved with this crap. Stop. Anyway, back to the point. Make an open records request for it, right? It's going to be a link in the description box below where you go to, right? And make an open request and get it. And check this out, which is so sweet about the open records request. Guess what? Remember that trying to get that insurance policy from Henry County? That's why I need to speak to somebody.
You said you requested open records, right? Okay.
Yes.
You happen to leave a name with that?
Can you please just get somebody up here, please?
Yes. Do you happen to get a case number with this? I can have
I'm not trying to get upset with you, alright? But I've been around in a circle, and that's why I'm physically up here, so I need to speak to somebody.
A few moments later.
Are you waiting for Allison, Jen?
Yes, I am.
Hi.
So, I'm trying to figure out who has the insurance policy for Henry County Sheriff's Office.
Well, we all share the same insurance policy.
Okay.
What are you looking for?
I need a copy of that.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah.
You just want a copy of it?
Yep.
Okay, so
That's it.
you told me that unfortunately you're gonna have to actually file it through open records. But I did write it down on how to do it. It's super easy if you just look up Henry
Been there,
County.
done that.
Oh, you already filed one? Through open records?
Been there, done that. So,
And you didn't receive it?
you guys were with ACCG, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Do you want to share what it's pertaining to see if I can help you in any way?
I just need an insurance policy. You guys have one for Henry County Sheriff's Office. I need their specific insurance policy.
Well, it's the same insurance for all of us.
Yeah, but I need theirs.
When you say theirs, they're covered under ACCG as well.
I need their policy.
So did they give you the policy when you did the open records?
I went full circle on like obviously. No. So, all right. Thank you so much for your time. And they act like they didn't have it, right? And it was like nearly like almost a year later, or Don was like, but not just months later, right? Before you were able to get it, right? There is no statute of limitations on filing a civil claim for the violating the Open Records Act. No statute of limitation. You don't believe me? Well, let's go look at the law. It comes from the Reporters Committee for the Freedom of the Press, and this one pretty much states each state time to file suit. Starting with Alabama. Obviously it's in I can't even get it out. Alphabetical order. Look, Alaska, no time spelled out. None. Some of them have them, some don't. None. But let's go ahead and scroll down to Georgia. The statute of limitations, the statute does not set forth specific limitations period of filing suit to enforce compliance. So pretty much it could be brought up at any time, bro. I'm gonna be straight up with you guys, man. Like, this is actually taking a risk. I don't think this has ever been done before, and these people are pissed. They do not like this. They don't like this channel. They don't like somebody telling the truth and going up against them. That's what they don't like. But anyway, back to the open record stuff, right? So with the open records request, this is what they're gonna try to do. Trust me, they try to do it to me. They're gonna say that because it's a pending lawsuit or a pending suit or some crap like that, that you don't have access to it. That is not true. Once the case is closed, the public has access to it. You see it on the news all the time. Oh, we couldn't get the footage because it's a pending suit this and third. But then other times, you get the raw body camera footage before anything even happens. You know what I'm saying? So what really comes down to is this right here: social media and like the internet. You know what I mean? Once it gets on the internet and it goes viral, then it's an issue. And then when these big people, these government officials and people in power get put on blast, like, hey, why are you letting this going on in your town, in your county, your city, this and third? And then they got to do their job and cover up, you know, their fellow employees and their buddies mess up over here. You know what I'm saying? Then it's an issue. You see what I'm saying? Then they get put on the chopping block. But it's up to you. It's up to all y'all. So look, you can go make the open records request. You get the body camera footage yourself. You know what I'm saying? Look at the I'm getting upset. Look at the incident reports. Look at the inconsistency from it. You see what I'm saying? And once you start reviewing the stuff, you're gonna be like, man, what the heck? This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. So with that said, man, I'm gonna cut this. Oh wait, nope. Before I go, matter of fact, I'm gonna show you in the law what they're gonna try to run on you, and you hit them with this. All right, let's go. Let me see. Shit, I already had it pulled up. It is. All right, so this is it right here. When public disclosure is not required. And it is in here somewhere. Oh, here it goes. Records from law enforcement, prosecutions, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Records of law enforcement, prosecutions, and regulatory agencies that are pending investigations or prosecution of criminal, that was crazy. Criminal unlawful activity other than initial police arrest reports, initial incident reports provided. However, the investigation or prosecution shall no longer be deemed as pending when all direct litigation involving the investigation or prosecution has become final or otherwise terminated, and provided further that the paragraph is not applied to records in possession of an agency that is subject to a pending investigation or prosecution, and provided further that the release of the booking photograph shall be permissible. This and third. So they'll try to hit you with this, right? But if it's not, like I said, if it's not pending or anything like that, you guys are not the defendant. But if you do find yourself in that situation, they hit you with that, you hit them with this right here, in the same law. Audio and video recordings and devices from law enforcement officers in a place where is reasonable expectation of privacy. There is no pending investigation, except the following provided as a person to sync the audio recordings and submit a sworn affidavit to attest to the facts necessary to establish eligibility under this paragraph. The person is representative of the deceased, parent, legal guardian, or somebody. Like if your kid does something stupid. The accused in a criminal accused in a criminal case when in good faith believe the accused has such recording as relevant to the case. So let's say you find yourself in a situation. That's why I say, if you get stopped or something like that, before you even go to court on the speeding traffic, any type of traffic violation, you get that body camera footage. You make an open records request for it. You get that cop's badge number. It's gonna be on your ticket anyway. You get the name, badge number, and make an open records request for the body camera footage, and you review it yourself, and then bring it to an attorney. And they're gonna be surprised. They're like, damn, you got this yourself? Yeah, it's easy. Just open records request. You know what I mean? All right. So, a party in a civil action when in good faith the parties such recording is relevant to them. See, party in civil action too. An attorney for a person identified as third, blah, blah, blah. Attorney for a person who pursued an action, blah, blah, blah. Right? But since the case is closed and it is no longer pending, it's not a pending investigation, you have access to it. All right. So this is what the website's gonna look like. When you click on it, that's where you know you're in the right place. You're gonna click this tab right here. It's gonna bring you to this screen. You're gonna hit make a request. It's gonna bring you to this screen right here. Then you just type in your request. I want to make an open records request for yada yada yada. You enter into information there, and this is good for anything. I mean, look, documents, photos, emails, all that stuff. You know what I mean? Only thing that they won't give you is stuff. Confidential information such as birth date, social security number, stuff like that. Obviously, you know not to get that. And then just put in your basic information, and within 3 business days, you will get the information you requested. If not, then you can just sue them. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, man, I'm out of here. Hopefully this may help somebody if you come into the situation. But I ain't doing nothing but just trying to educate y'all, man, and show y'all just how corrupt these folks are, bro. and there's nobody that's going up against them. You think that you would think that you would think that when you're right as a citizen, that these people would honor it and stuff like that. They do not. And you know, being that this is the South, because I know people that come to this channel probably come from all over the country. It depends. People in the South, with dealing with the criminal justice system, dealing with the judicial system as a whole, it's just so much corruption, bro. And some of these people that get these jobs, they may come into it with a good heart and good intentions and stuff like that, but then after they get in there and they get complacent in their job and they see what everybody else is doing, they might feel bad about violating somebody's rights like the first time, or maybe first or 2 times, but then after a while it's like they don't even care. I've seen it done many times, especially with like people who have mental disabilities, bro. I'm gonna tell you like before I go. In Henry County Jail, just going to a court hearing, and I seen this man, and it was messed up. You know, guys in there talking this and third, whatever, talking about, you know, jail stuff, street stuff, whatever, crazy stuff. And there was just one guy, he was just staring at the floor, and I thought that he was scared, or just, you know, like, I was like, this dude must be a creep or something like that. And I just said, yo, what's up, man? You okay? You know, because when people just stare off like that, you gotta check up on them, because you don't know what's on their mind. They might snap out, and you close the person to them, they might do something to you. So when I started talking to him, like, you could tell right when, as soon as he started talking, he was like the mentality of like a 7-year-old or something like that. And I was just like, whoa. And dude was like in his like 50s, or like, yeah, probably like late 40s, early 50s or something. And he was just like, I was walking home, and the cop just stopped me, and he asked me where am I, you know, who am I, and then I said I was going home, and he just told me to get in a car, and he took me to jail, and I've been sitting here. I said, how long you been here? He was like, I don't know how long I've been here, but I want to go home. I was like, oh my God. And then this is the type of people that they lock up, and they lock it was crazy. But anyway, anyway, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, man, I hope I catch you on the next one. And matter of fact, on the next one, bro, I'm gonna tell you like this. We're gonna go ahead and get down to the meat and the nitty gritty of this, bro. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for those who've been rocking with this channel, and those of you who got common sense, because you can't buy that at the store. That was rude as hell. But just thank you, man, because this is a lot, and there's so much more to it, and I would love to just go into explicit detail into it, but this is the internet, and you know, pending civil I can't even get it out. I get upset, I start stuttering and stuff. Pending civil litigations and all type of crazy stuff is going on, so there's some things I can't just touch bases on, but there will be a time and place when everything gets exposed, and these people will be held accountable for the things that they're doing. All right, with that said, man, I'm out.